After trading for Robert Quinn, the Cowboys had seemingly found themselves an alternative to Randy Gregory, who is currently suspended indefinitely. But the team is still committed to Gregory and thinks he can be an impact player, and they proved it by quietly handing out a contract extension to the promising but troubled defensive end. NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported that the Cowboys quietly extended Gregory's contract through 2020, with $310,000 of existing 2019 salary converted into a signing bonus. The deal adds 1 year worth $735,000, with the chance to earn more with escalators. If he plays under the extension, it could be a steal for 2 years for the Cowboys. When on the field, the pass rusher has proven he can be an adequate rotational QB disruptor, compiling 6 sacks in 14 games in 2018. Why Robert Quinn is an upgrade over Randy Gregory in the short term. John Machota, Sports Day Dallas. The Cowboys didn't accompany their trade for Robert Quinn with a contract extension, as was previously rumored, so Quinn is likely seen as a short-term solution for Dallas while they work towards getting Randy Gregory eligible again. Nevertheless, Quinn might actually be an upgrade over Gregory. For the 2019 season, yes, Quinn is an upgrade. He has more experience and has been a far better, more productive pass rusher up to this point. While I think he's still capable of 7 or 8 sacks, I don't know if the 12 to 15 sack season is still possible. With Gregory, on the other hand, I believe his best years are still in front of him. I don't think he's reached his ceiling. If he was able to stay eligible for a full 16-game season, I think he's capable of double-digit sacks. But we don't know how many games Gregory will play in 2019 because of his current suspension. Seahawks Russell Wilson wants new deal by April 15. Jeremy Bergman, NFL Network. As the Cowboys are still working on negotiations for DeMarcus Lawrence, they're also looking to the future and the big contract they'll likely have to hand out to Dak Prescott. As that date approaches, Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson is in the midst of his own negotiations that could potentially set the market for Prescott. Wilson has made it clear to the Seattle Seahawks that he wants a new deal by April 15, when Seattle begins its off-season program, NFL Network insider Ian Rapoport reported Tuesday. The Seattle Times first reported the news. Entering the final year of a 4-year extension signed in 2015, Wilson is the next franchise quarterback in line for a mega extension and the right to be labeled the highest-paid player in NFL history. Wilson isn't the only signal caller due for a pay raise in the near future. Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott and Patrick Mahomes are all expected to earn extensions of varying degrees over the next 2 seasons. So Seattle is not only racing to meet Wilson's soft deadline. The Seahawks are also jockeying for position with other organizations negotiating their own QB extensions. Cowboys focusing on safety spot with 30 visits. Nick Eatman, DallasCowboys.com. Each year around this time, every NFL team gets the chance to host 30 draft prospects at their headquarters to get a better look at them. See our tracker right here. This usually serves as a good indicator of which players each team will try to select with their first few picks, and for the Cowboys it seems they're clearly focusing in on one position more so than others. This year, the Cowboys seem to have a higher focus on the safety position, one that was addressed with the signing of George Iloka. However, the Cowboys had interest in landing the likes of Earl Thomas, who signed with the Ravens, and even brought in 5-time Pro Bowler Eric Berry for a visit. Among the 30 visitors this year, the Cowboys are bringing in 6 safeties, the most of any other position. Highlighting that group is Mississippi State's Jonathan Abram, Virginia's Juan Thornhill, Washington's Taylor Rapp and Michigan State's Khari Willis. Cowboys coach Jason Garrett says pass interference being reviewable goes to credibility of the game. Anthony Nash clutch points. One of the big changes for the NFL this offseason is that pass interference calls will now be eligible for official review. Largely in response to the controversial no call in the NFC Championship game, Jason Garrett delivered a speech that apparently changed some minds and helped get the rule change approved. they're talking about one thing, the call that was missed," Garrett said, via Pro Football Talk. "And so for me, the idea of somehow finding a way within the structure that already exists to be able to rectify that play, that egregious mistake, is paramount. If we all put our heads together, we can solve this situation. As we go forward, we can clean this up so that this isn't the focal point of everybody at the end of this unbelievable game. It goes to the credibility of the game and the integrity of the game." According to an official from another team that had initially come into the meeting against the idea, King reported that Garrett's speech was pivotal in moving some members into adopting the new rule. The rule passed easily, with 31 NFL teams voting for it. Barry Switzer says if Cowboys would have listened to him, 1995 NFC Championship vs. 49ers could have had different outcome. Sports Day Dallas staff. Former Cowboys head coach Barry Switzer has recently been in the news again, starting with a strange tweet and including an interview with Tim Cowlishaw where Switzer seems to suggest that the team could have found more success if he had his way. "Anyway, we're down 21-0 and we come back and make a game of it in the first half. I make a mistake and we get the ball with 1:20 left in the first half, just go out and score." And Ernie Zampese said, "Listen, let's get a field goal. I said, Ernie, let's run it 3 times and if we have to punt the football, we'll punt it. Then we go into halftime. We've got the momentum, only down 7. What happens? I let Ernie talk me into it. We throw 3 incompletions, we punt the ball and they hit Jerry Rice over Larry Brown in the end zone at the end of the first half. A fingertip catch. Gut instinct told me not to do it, because it's a percentage to do that. Can't play with percentages and I didn't let someone talk me into it and it might have cost us the ball game." AAF suspends operations. Polian, disappointed. Michael Rothstein, ESPN. It was only 2 short months ago that the Alliance of American Football debuted, and less than that since we saw Jerry Jones wearing an AAF hat and later moving the AAF championship game to the Star in Frisco, Texas. Several former Cowboys players had even found homes on AAF teams. Now, in what seems to be a myriad of controversy, the AAF looks to be folding before they even finish their first season. "I am extremely disappointed to learn Tom Dundon has decided to suspend all football operations of the Alliance of American Football," Polian said in a statement Tuesday. "When Mr. Dundon took over, it was the belief of my co-founder, Charlie Ebersol, and myself that we would finish the season, pay our creditors, and make the necessary adjustments to move forward in a manner that made economic sense for all. The momentum generated by our players, coaches and football staff had us well positioned for future success. Regrettably, we will not have that opportunity." Getting a glimpse of Dallas Day invitees at Bobby Belt TX. In addition to the 30 draft prospects the Cowboys will be hosting, the team also hosts Dallas Day in which they can invite local players to their facility that don't count towards the 30-man cap. While there will likely be more invites, we know at least 15 of this year's Dallas Day prospects. Weekly BTBQ. As today is in fact hump day, you can join RJ Ochoa here at BTB at that time. Bring your questions, drop them in the comments, and he'll get to them. Tweet of the day as mentioned, it's Visit Season and Deebo Samuel looks like he liked what he saw on Tuesday.